Somebody sent me a message saying that I should do like the top best moments of 2013 for Naruto and One Piece, and I thought about it and I'm like, well, for One Piece it's very easy. Like in my mind, the chapters that stick out the most are 700, 730, and then 731. 731 being the chapter that stole Christmas pretty much. By the way, today is Oda's birthday, so happy birthday, Ichiro Oda. But for Naruto, I thought about it, and it's a little bit more complicated, to be honest, because I think Naruto has changed a lot. I mean, it's not entirely different, but it definitely has changed. It's not the same series I was reading 2 years ago, like, definitely not. But if I had to pick some moments, I'd pick, like, I like how Kishimoto decided to reintroduce the first Hokage and second Hokage, because we really didn't know much about their personalities, so I'm glad that they got, some exposition. The Team 7 reunion was really nostalgic. I really liked that. If I were to think about Naruto, like 2013 Naruto, it's like Hokages get revived, Sasuke turns good, quote unquote, and then it's like the Jubi transformation, and then it's like flashbacks, and then Obito not shutting up. And there's people saying, you gotta stop complaining about flashbacks, man. Flashbacks are there to fucking, help us understand the story better. And I'm like, yeah, except like everything has a time and a place. Like, this is the climax. The last chapter I reviewed with the Shukaku, I thought that was really, it was a very informative, likable chapter, in my opinion. But the fact of the matter is, a flashback, in the middle of what's supposed to be the climax of any series, is still an interruption, unless the flashback is of, like, the utmost importance. I think Naruto, for what it's worth, has had an incredibly good run as a series. And then there's talk of, like, maybe a continuation to this. But I feel like, just out of respect for the readers and the viewers that have been with Naruto this long, I feel like Shippuden, or part 2 of Naruto, should have a proper ending. If you want to add a third series onto it later on, that's okay. I mean, I have no problem with that. But out of respect for the people who have followed it this far, I feel like, part 2 should have, like, its beginning, its middle, and its end. And it's obvious that we're approaching its end. There was, like, a time where, like, I would just get, theories and just PMs, like, up the butt with, like, predictions about what's going to happen with the series and all these things, all these little mysteries that were yet to be, revealed or explored, and now I don't get as many, and I'm wondering if that's because, like, the interest in the series has dwindled as a whole, or if there's just no more mystery. Well, there's still, like, the thing, like, how is Naruto going to defeat Madara? Is Sasuke or Naruto are going to get the Rinnegan? Those sort of things. But I feel like overall, I think the series has very few loose ends. There was, like, this post by Manga Panda, I think it was on Facebook, saying, like, if you could change, like, one thing from Naruto, the series, like, what would you change? I definitely still would want Sasuke to be kind of, like, evil, like, corrupted, just because I feel like that would have made for such an epic ending fight. It was, and not just, like, in the action sort of, plane, but, like, I didn't want the final fight to be Naruto just spamming Rasengans and Sasuke using, like, Amaterasu creatively. I wanted it to be, a clash of ideals between, good and evil. Like Sasuke saying, the ninja world will always inherently create hatred. I wanted Sasuke to be so far into the darkness that it would have seemed impossible for any of us, for Naruto to turn him, at least get some spark of goodness out of him. And I kind of feel like that's not even part of the story anymore. That's, like, it's been shoved aside for the time being. Granted, I do think there'll be a final fight between Sasuke and Naruto, but it won't be like a clash of ideals anymore. It's more like it's gonna be a competition to see who can be Hokage. Then again, like, maybe the title of Hokage could be discarded altogether, because it's like, I mean, these divisive lines between, like, the nations or the countries or whatever the hell, the villages, have been one of the major factors in creating, like, violence and hatred in the shinobi world. So I guess Naruto could be, like, the president of the allied shinobi nations or something like that. Finally, I just want to touch on, like, the romantic aspect of the series, which I haven't talked about in forever, just because I feel like Well, first of all, it is relevant to like Sasuke's character because Sasuke, like one of his motivations was just to, or his goal was to restore the Uchiha clan, and you get to thinking like, how are you going to restore your clan if you have nobody to breed with? On one hand, you have like Sakura, who is constantly friend zoning Naruto, and Sakura is obsessed with this other guy to the point where she can even forgive that other guy for trying to kill her. Okay. I mean, I wouldn't want anything to do with that. And then you have Hinata, who has loved Naruto unconditionally, but at the same time, it's like, you guys really don't know each other. But maybe that's just me wanting to be a realist and just wanting the manga to make sense in terms of like it translating into the real world. But I do see both parts now. It's like, because if Naruto gets with Sakura, it's like, oh, you know, Naruto got the girl that, you know, he wanted since he was a kid. And then if Hinata gets with Naruto, it's like, oh, Hinata got the guy that she's always wanted and that she's always loved. So I think it's like it's a give and take situation. But I do think like both relationships have the potential of being completely fucking dysfunctional. So it's kind of like weird that Sakura, in my view, should teach you to be humble, and then Hinata teaches you to be less clingy in a way. They're kind of like extremes. They're like, yeah, they're not polar opposites, but they're pretty close. Just to get this out of the way, I feel like the best sort of like relationship between a male and a female in this series is between Shikamaru and Tamari, because it's not abusive. It's ongoing and it's not obsessive. There's no violence. Try to aim for what Shikamaru and Tamari have. Like, that's the bottom line. Those are just my thoughts. Please tell me yours on anything or everything that I talked about in this video. But most of all, like, the question I really want to leave you guys with is like, what would you have changed? You know, in Naruto. I already told you what I would change. At Sasuke, I would have still preferred him to be a little bit more evil. And personally, I would have, if Toby was Obito from the get-go, I would have dealt with him a little bit earlier. That's just me. Thank you for watching. Comment, rate, subscribe. Happy New Year.